What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We got a crazy good video here for you guys in this video. Congress has actually been up to a lot here. We're going to go over what the CEO, Norfolk Southern, the CEO of the train company who's had multiple crashes here, just gave a testimony in Congress, and you won't believe what just happened while he was testifying here. I'll show you it here, and then we'll go over that here in this video. Also, Congress just passed a bill to declassify classified documents on the origins of the pandemic and the virus. We're not sure if Biden's going to sign it. There's some controversy over this, and I'll give you the details of that here in this video as well. This will be a good one here. So let's jump right in here. Thank you so much for liking these videos. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. So take a listen to this. This is the Norfolk Southern Train Company CEO answering some questions from Senator Bernie Sanders, who's asking him some tough questions. Remember, this is the company that had the train crash in Ohio and has had multiple crashes since then as well. Listen to what he has to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let me thank the panel for being with us today. Mr. Shaw, you indicated in response to a question from the chairman that you, quote, "I'm committed to doing what's right," end quote. Well, I think all of us are committed to doing what's right, but the devil is in the details. Mr. Shaw, Wall Street, about a decade ago, in order to increase the profits they were earning in the rail industry, implemented a program called Precision Scheduled Railroading. The result of that is that Norfolk Southern reduced its workforce by almost 40% over 6 years. Meanwhile, in fact, Wall Street's goal was achieved. Profits soared for Norfolk Southern. You made over $3 billion in profits last year. I have been told by workers who work for your company and other rail companies that they are now being asked to do more work with fewer workers, and that includes safety inspections. So well before this disaster in East Palestine, we have been told about the potential safety hazards. Will you make a commitment right now to the American people that you will lead the industry in ending this disastrous precision scheduled railroading, which has slashed your workforce and made railroading much less safe? Yes or no, will you make that commitment?
Senator, I understand your concern, and I share that concern. And if you'll permit, I have a couple points on that. I became CEO in May of last year. Ever since that point, Senator, we've been on a hiring spree. The number of employees at Norfolk Southern today is 1,500 more than it was this time last year.
You'll forgive me, I don't mean to be rude. We just don't have a whole lot of time. Yeah, I understand that, but you will not deny what you're trying to do is rebuild from the massive layoffs that took place. My question back to you again. Wall Street, not the industry, imposed this on the industry. Wall Street said, we're not making enough money. Cut workers, cut workers, cut workers, even if it endangers safety. My question to you, very simply, sir, will you lead the industry in doing away with precision scheduled railroading? That concept.
Senator, in December of last year, I charted a new course in the industry. And I said we're going to move away from a near-term focus solely on profits, and that we're going to take a longer-term view that's founded on our engagement with our craft employees who are so critical to our success. We were the first to pivot out of it.
All right, well, let me jump in again. I apologize for cutting you off here, but when you talk about your employees, the entire country, I think, was shocked to learn a number of months ago that your employees, rail workers, who work in a dangerous job in all kinds of weather, had zero paid sick days. Now, I know that is beginning to change, but I would ask you, given the fact that Norfolk Southern provided $10 billion in stock buybacks recently. Can you tell the American people and your employees right now that in order to improve morale in your workforce, that you will guarantee at least 7 paid sick days to the 15,000 workers you employ? I do know you've made some progress. You increased paid sick days for some of your workers. Will you do what most Americans think is pretty obvious, that when you get sick, you get guaranteed paid sick days? Will you make that commitment right now to your entire workforce?
Senator, with our latest agreement with our employees, which included a historic 24% wage increase and access to premium health care benefits, we immediately pivoted to talking to each of our local.
I've been deeply involved. I introduced the amendment on the floor. I know the issue. But what I'm asking you right now, you provided paid sick days to some of your employees. I got it. Thank you. Will you now do it what we get here in Congress? Our employees get sick, they get paid sick days. Will you make that commitment right now to guarantee paid sick days to all of your workers? That's not a radical demand. It really is not. Will you make that commitment, sir?
Senator, I share your focus on our employees. I will commit to continuing to discuss with them important quality of life issues with our local craft colleagues.
In all due respect, you sound like a politician here, Mr. Shaw. It's not paid sick days is not a radical concept in the year 2023. I am not hearing you make that commitment to guarantee that to all of your workers. Clearly, we should have that for every worker in America. I'm not hearing that commitment. Will you make that commitment, sir?
Senator, I'm committed to continuing to speak to our employees about quality of life issues that are important to them.
All right. Well, I'm chairman of the Health Education Labor Committee. We look forward to having that discussion. One last issue. You talked about covering.
Senator Graham, Senator Graham is waiting to ask it. So, Bernie, if you just keep it really brief.
All right, last question. You talked about covering the needs of the people of East Palestine. Does that include paying for their health care needs? All of their health care needs?
Senator, we're going to do what's right for the citizens of East
What's
Palestine.
right is to cover their health care needs. Will you do that?
Everything is on the table, sir.
Man, I got to tell you, no matter what party you're from, you got to love Bernie Sanders when it comes to things like this. He literally fights for people, average, everyday people, working class people. If you just listen to what he said, he's literally just fighting for the people in the towns of Ohio, the people working on the railroads. He's literally just fighting for the people. I mean, let me know your thoughts here. And while this happened, while this testimony happened, another train derailed from that exact company, Norfolk Southern, in Alabama, as their CEO testified in Congress. Now, I wasn't there, but I really hope that somebody interrupted him as he was testifying and said, excuse me, Mr. CEO. Now, I get that, he said he's only been there for a year or less than a year, and I get that he's inheriting a lot of these problems. I get it. But I hope that somebody interrupted him and said, excuse me, another one of your trains just derailed. I think you need to go back and start fixing some of the safety protocols that you're inheriting and put, these better braking systems on and change some of these safety protocols and start inspecting your trains a little bit more. There's clearly a problem here. I mean, you guys let me know your thoughts here on this because it ain't working. It just ain't working. Also, Mitch McConnell was hospitalized here. I think it was yesterday. So we wish him, well wishes and hope he recovers here quickly. He fell during a dinner here yesterday. I think it was a fundraising dinner. He's 81 years old. So hopefully here he recovers. I don't think it's going to be anything that's life-changing or something like that. I think he'll be okay, but I'll keep you up to date. Also, the House and the Senate have now passed unanimously, believe it or not, a bill that will declassify documents that were classified, obviously. Um, all sorts of documents. If President Biden signs it on the origins and the virus and the pandemic. What's interesting here is that last year, the Senate passed this bill and sent it over to the House, and the House did not take it up when Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats were in charge of the House. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats decided not to even vote on the bill. Remember that the Speaker of the House or Senate Majority Leader has the choice to not take it up. Well, the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi decided not to even vote on it. I don't know if they had something to hide or not, but now it has passed, and Biden hasn't yet signaled if he's going to sign it or not. I don't know if they wanted to protect Dr. Anthony Fauci before he retired or not, but take a listen to this.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of S-619, a bill that would require the Director of National Intelligence to declassify information relating to the origin of COVID-19. The House companion bill, H.R. 1376, passed unanimously out of the Intelligence Committee. I want to thank my ranking member Himes for his dedication to bipartisanship and to professionalism as we work together to try to ensure that the Intelligence Committee responds to the needs of the House. Mr. Speaker, COVID-19 pandemic wreaked havoc across the country, with almost every household feeling its effects. The United States death toll from this virus has surpassed 1 million people. Although concrete data is hard to lock down, millions of Americans are suffering from the long-term effects directly attributed to this virus. COVID-19 has also negatively affected our communities, especially our kids. It is becoming increasingly clear that school-aged children face major educational hurdles because of distance learning and long-term school closures. The American public deserves answers to every aspect of COVID-19 pandemic, including how this virus was created and specifically whether it was a natural occurrence or was the result of a lab-related event. The House Intelligence Committee, which oversees our intelligence community, is aware of classified information that could help inform the public why COVID-19 as a lab leak theory is not just a possibility, but approaches the idea that it is likely. The intelligence community does have more information about COVID-19 than the public is led to believe. Much of the information they have can be declassified and disseminated to the public. In fact, the bill we are discussing today would give the American public just a glimpse, albeit a very important aspect of the classified information the intelligence community holds. S-619, if passed by the House and signed into law, would give the American public a unique insight as to what was happening at a biosafety level laboratory in Wuhan, China, in late 2019 and early 2020. This laboratory and who was working there might be the key to unraveling the truth. For those concerned about declassifying COVID-19 origins information, I can assure you that the intelligence community could release this information while protecting their sources and methods of how it was collected. In fact, I believe that the intelligence community could go further than what is called for in S-619 and release most of what it knows about COVID origins, but this is a good start. COVID-19 ranks as one of this century's most important events. No community was spared, and every corner of the world felt its effects. Everyone deserves to know what our intelligence community knows about, and S-619 is the right step in the right direction.
So I'll keep you up to date here. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. You'll get the truth from me either way, and I'll show you it directly here on the screen. If you appreciate these videos, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, then the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here's some videos you should watch next. Here is that video of the fight between Congress and the Fed, and it's coming for all 50 states. Really good video there. And here is President Biden announcing almost $7 trillion in money being spent. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.